Hi, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about a table in the demographic table. So the table is 14.1.3, which is subject demographics. Get the counts and the percentage of the sex and race for how many genders. I mean, how many male population and how many female population we have to find out, and we also have to know the race part as well, and how many people are in Asians and how many people are in other. So we have to calculate, we have to report them based on this mock shell. The mock shells are here. So here we have a simple mock shell. We're going to do the statistics to know the counts and the percentage of the treatment, how many males are taking the test drug and how many female, like how many male population has taken the reference drug, and what is the combination of those two drug overall population taking the treatment, either male or female. And we also have to check the what is the race of those populations. So we have to get the calculations and we have to know what is the percentage of it overall treatment. Okay, so there is a footnote here. The test is reference to oxybutynin and reference refers to care, oxybutynin succinate. Okay, so here is the footnote and here is the bold format, the title. So let's continue with this programming. So here we have header part and the source dataset will be the ADSL. Okay, so the output will have get 14.1.3 subject demographics. So there will be no macros for use. Okay, so let's continue with this RM as to removing any the previous datasets are present. So I'm removing those ones by pressing Control Enter. Then we'll be calling all the libraries uh, to use in this program. So we have Haven, tidyverse, deployer, dubridate, admiral, and the stringer. And we also have one more, sorry, one more new package we have to call SQLDF. Okay, so the SQLDF, in order to install, you have to write this package, install that packages in the apostrophe here, SQLDF. Then if you need to call SQLDF, you need to call by using the library in under parenthesis SQLDF. Okay, so here the SQLDF, basically it works similar like the SQL, the syntaxes. So in the R environment, R data frames. Okay, so for that reason we have to call. Okay, I'll explain you this package later. And for now, we have continued with R2RTF. This is the similar what we uh, done in the listing. So this is the R2RTF. We'll call this library as well. Okay, sorry, I have. So then we have to setting working directory, the clinical course, and we get to know what is the working directory for that one. And we also have to call SDTM in case sometimes we also need SDTM datasets. So we also have to call Adam dataset, that is the source dataset for the TLF. Okay, so here we are reading ADSL dataset. So now we got the ADSL dataset into the R environment. Then we filtered out safety populations because when you check here, when you check in the title part is asking only the subject who has taken at least one dose. So those we have to filter out. This is the population flag SAFFL equal to Y, that is the safety population. So we run this one, so we filtered out. Then we have to create overall, because when you see check, when you check the template, we have a 3D here. We have a test and the reference and overall counts. Okay, so these has to be overall we have to calculate. Okay, so for the overall what we do, I'm creating one new variable called actual, that is we called all. Okay, so I'm creating a new variable in this data set. This is a demo one, is a new data set from the ADSL1, and there is a pipe symbol here to come for continuations, and the mutate function, it you need to create a new variable. We have to write mutate functions, then we come for continuations. So whatever the TRT01A for all we have created, it has to bind with the previous ones, so the ADSL1. So ADSL1 is already have all the test and reference, so all will be go and bind it to the because here we are creating TRT01 all, right. So it goes bind to the test and reference. So you'll be having almost like, for example, ADSL we have 48, right. So the demo one will be having around we having 94 observations and 37 variables. And if I open this one, you can see on the here we have when you check a TRT01A, so we have all all is there. Then we also have reference, we also have all of them is because yeah, because this is the reference and this is the TRT 0 2p, so we need to do it separately. Okay, so now I'm doing only for TRT 01 period 1. Okay, so I'll close this one first. So then we continue with the demo to the new data set. So here what I'm doing, if it is a test in the TRT 01a, so I'm giving as a TES by using the grepl. Grepl is also works similar like, so it works like a index function. So it is basically checking the test string is present in the TRT01a. If it is a present, then we give it as a TES for shortcut. Okay, so ref, we have to give it as a ref. Then the TRT01a, if it is all, then we give it as a all. Okay, so once we done this one, we give the order for we're creating the new variable called ORD. So if the TRT, so we have created one variable here, right? TRT for this ones. If it is TSC, then we give it as 1, and if it is a ref, we give it as a 2, and if it is all, we give it as a 3. So remember, we'll be having a 2 when you are assigning the values for the new variable. The value we have for the old variable, it should be separated, it should be equal with the two double equals. Then we have a tilde symbol here. Tilde symbol, it assigning the values. Okay, once we get we have to select unique subject ID, age, sex, race, TRT, order, because we need age, age, sex. Oh, we don't have age here, so but anyway, so sex and race. So we have considered this part, and the order for ordering the treatment, and there should be no missing values, so we're not considering any missing values, so order will be no missing values. Okay, once we done this one, that is demo 2. Let me run this one. So in the demo 2, we'll be having 94 observation and 6 variables. So you will be having the required variable we in place it in the select statement. So all of them are here. Then we continue with the demo ADSL1. We're gonna do with the treatment 2 actual now. So here is everything is treatment 01A. So now we're gonna do with the treatment 2. So we do the same thing for the overall, and we bind with ADSL1, the previous ones. Okay, let me run this one. So if you see here demo 2, you see here 1 to here, and TRT is 02A. So you see all here. Then we also see other test, and the somewhere here is ref. Okay, so we do the same thing. We create that new variable as TRT. Then we give as a TRT numeric format for the order. Then we also selecting filtering out, there should be no missing values for the order. Okay, once we're done, okay, so once we're done, we have to merge by creating the demo 3 as a new data set by using the bind rows. The bind rows, it works similar like merging. Okay, I'm sorry, so bind row, it works similar like a set statement in the SAS. It's not like merging. So what happened if demo 2 has a 94 and demo 22 has a 94, it will be increase, increase to 188 around. Okay, so we have to sort by using order, then and we're selecting only the unique subject ID and the TRT, and if there is any missing values, if there is any missing values, that is condition as a true, that is ignoring the case. Okay, let me run this on demo 3 here. So when you check 139, because we are selecting the unique subject ID, right, the distinct subject ID. So here we have 139 along with all s and ref, all combination of we have as per the table we need to get. So now next, once we get all these things, the unique subject ID along with the treatment, so we have to find out the counts of the counts, have to find out distinct counts for the by order, group by order. Okay, so here we are grouping by order, then we're taking the summarize function. We measuring how many counts we have for individual for the treatment wise. Okay, so n distinct is another function we have to use to calculate the unique subject ID. Then we have to sort again, then pull n. The pull n indicates we are taking only the n part. Okay, so when you run this one, we are pulling the n column only. So when you n1, so this is n counts of, so this is okay, so this symbol represent in the vector, that is in the indexing. Okay, so n1 is represent the 1th count of For example, if we take n counts here, let me run this one first. So you see here, n counts. So it has given 47, 45, 47. Okay, because we are pulling only n. So we are pulling only the n counts. Okay, so it is in the list of the vector. So 1 is to 3, 3 counts. So n1 indicates the first position of 47, and then to indicate the second position of the number is 45, and the n counts 3 is indicates 47. Okay, so if you run this one, so you can see here n1 it represent 47L, and n2 represent 45L, and n3 represent 47L. Okay, so this is the way you create your kind of macros in SAS. We call as like local macros, sorry, global macros we create, right, for n counts. Okay, then we continue with the other variable like gender here. So in gender we taking this demo3 data set, and we setting this demo3 data set, and we created a new data set called gender, and we're getting the counts for the using the count function for the sex and the treatment. So for example, mutate, in mutate function, so there is a new variables we correct, because as per the layout we have the mock shell here, right? So we have to create a category statistics. Okay, so these two we have to create, and for that cat is gender, because here we give it as cat is gender, and if it is a race, we giving it as a race here, but for now we are considering only the gender part. Okay, then we're giving the stat if else, like if it's male, m we give it as a male, because in the layout in the mock shell we have male or female in the prop case and complete. But when you check in the demo 3, when you check in demo 3, the race has the sex has given in the only single letter. So for we don't represent like that in the report, so we have to convert it to either male, and for the f, like if it is a male we give it as a male, and else we give it as a female. And we also do the sorting for the new variable. If it is m we give it as 1, and if it is because the male come first here in the layout, we have to give as m as a 1. So the female has to give it as a 2, because when you sort it comes like that. Then we select the category, sort, stat, and treatment, and n count. Okay, so if you check this one, we open this gender here, you can see that you have n counts, and you also have the category, the variable, sorting variable, and stat, and the treatment variable as well, because we are counting based on the treatments, so how many population has female and how many population has male. Okay, then we continue with the race variable. So we do the same thing, the race and treatment. So we create the category race, and if it is Asian, as per the mock shell, the Asian we have given in the prop case here. So in the demo 3, if you open the demo 3 for the race part, it's all in the uppercase. So we don't want to report in the uppercase. We have to be report in a prop case. So for that we have to change it by using the case when, or if else also it can work, but here I'm using case when. And also we are creating the case when for the numeric format for sorting purpose. Here Asian come on the first, right? Asian come on the first. Okay, so then we select the category sort, stat, because the numeric part should be always be first, then stat, and the trt n. So when you run this one, the race we call the race data set, so you will be having the counts of the Asian and other based on the treatment. Okay, so once we done this one, okay, so here with when you check the race data set, you see we have the treatment in the row wise, but as per the mock shell here, the treatment should come on the top, and the test reference and the overall as a column. So we need to change back to, we need to transpose to rows to column wise. Okay, so for that we have to use the pivot wider. Okay, so if you run the pivot wider, so you will see here in the race variable, so the columns, the rows become a columns here, and the values become the values for the race, and this one is come under the treatment. Okay, So this way we have to change, because we're taking the treatment related information and we are giving the n counts values for those treatment. And if there is a missing, we have to give it as a 0. In case if you have a space are missing, so we give it as a 0 by values fill. Okay, so once we done this one, we have to calculate, for example, here, if we go here, we have this one, right? The counts, n counts, we got it. So we need to get percentage now. Have to get the percentage. So for the percentage, what I did, so I take the creating the final data set, and I bind the rows, like setting the two gender and race. Okay, so I forgot to do this one here. The gender proc transpose. Okay, when I check the gender here, you can see the counts are coming for the each individual treatment based on the population, based on the gender. Okay, so here once I get those information, I setting up these two data set by using the bind rows function at the gender and race. Then I created if test if there is no missing value. Okay, if there is a missing value, we give it as a 0. I'm sorry, if there is a missing value in the test, we give it as a 0. Else we give it as a test entre parenthesis, because we're giving this thing. So here you see here, this part we are doing it in the bracket and round off test n1, like the test treatment, and n1 count. The n1 count is 47 here into 100, and we giving as a 1 point as a rounding up, right? Because it's giving only 1 point in the percentage. So for that we are giving the 1 point, and we're closing back to the bracket. Okay, so we're doing the same thing for the reference and overall treatment. Okay, so once we done this one, let me run this, execute this part. So the final one you can see like this. So you will be having this information along with, we will be dropping these things. So we have this information 1 point floating. Okay, so we have a counts along with the percentages. So you can double check. You see, if we have female is 48.9% and 51.1%, it becomes 100%. When they come to the race, 97.9 and 2.1, okay, it becomes 100%, right? So you have to check 23, 24, 47, 46, 1, 47. So it is matching. So you have to check the reference as well, and you have to check the overall, and it is very important to check the counts once you're done. Okay, then we arrange, because we got the final data set right now. So we have final data set, we got the required layout, we got category, we got stat, then we got all this information. Now we have to arrange into the final layout. Okay, so we arrange in the cat and sort. Okay, because we're sorting in the cat, and then we're grouping by cat, because here in the layout you have category, gender, right? It is in the grouping. Race as well, it is in the grouping. So for that reason we have to grouping by category, then mutate. If else, we're giving row number equal to 1. Okay, cat equal to if row equal to 1, then cat, otherwise else is missing. So this is a new function. This is row number. You remember how we giving the sequence number for the rows? So this is the one. If it is cat equal to is 1, for example, here we giving the category as a 1, right? Race. Okay, so for that we have giving category, otherwise missing. Okay, so we're selecting the cat, stat, test, reference, and overall. When you run this one, you will be having the final one. So in the final one, you see this is a group by gender, okay, and this is by race. And because we're giving the gender as a first gender as a first, so then we giving all this information as per the layout. Okay, so we got all the information as per the layout. Now we're gonna do the reporting. Okay, so we cover all of them here, then we continue with doing the reporting. Hope you understand. If you have any doubts on these functions, group by and arrange, so let me know in the comment section. So now I have given the output of this where I want to save this table. I gave this output function, output path. Then I have arrange orientation in the landscape. Then I give the title. I just copy it from the title from the here, and as well from here. I copy it, and it is in the left side alignment, and it is in the bold. Okay, so for that reason I have given justification. Okay, have given the text justification on the left side alignment, and the text format in the bold format. So once I get this one, then I give rtf call header the call header I have started with category because the category is here, indicates to this one, and the statistics indicates to this one, and the test indicates to this one. Okay, and the reference is indicates to this one, because you see here in the layout, when you check in the layout, after the test we have this one, right? So for this one, what I did here, so I put slash n, which is going down, then I gave n equal to n1. N1 is the count, right? 47L for the test, and n2 is the 45L, and overall n3 is equal to, I have given 47, like that. So the column width I have given like total 5 columns here. Category start 1 2 3 4 5. So here as well 1 2 3 4 5, it should be match. Okay, so the column width I have given 666. So, and also the justification, so that the category should be on the left side and the remaining are in the center. Okay, and the column width of the body, it will be the same thing, because the value, otherwise it will be difficult, because if you see the category is here and this value is here, is not making any sense, right? So for that reason it should be both body width and the category width will be the same. Okay, so here I have given both of them in the same justification, same width, and the justification also will be the same. Okay, then I have given the footnote. I took it here from here and pasted there, copy it from there and paste it here, then encode. In order to keep all this information into the RTF, this has to be work. So white RTF, so if you need to create RTF in this file name, for that reason I have used 14.1.2 in RTF. Okay, so once I done, I execute, so there are no issues so far here. So let me go here and check of this. Okay, so in output you see this is the table layout, table which I have created. Now you see here we have a statistics, gender, race, and we got the test reference, and the 47 is given here, and there is a comma. I think we need to adjust that part. And everything seems similar. I just need to change here. Maybe I can just pull it here by manually. I can change as well here. If you want, you can remove there. So I check. It is looks like what we are looking for in the table layout. Okay, so this is a table layout. If you want to modify it as per the client requirement, you can use their own macros so that you can get your template correctly. Okay, so it's quite complicated, quite complex with than in the listing. Okay, but listing is straightforward, but here is you have to get to know the counts for the testing and reference and overall treatment you have to create. Then we have to, for the overall treatment you have to create, then you have to get to know the sex and also the gender related counts, based on, then we have to transpose them. Then you created the percentage for those values. You arrange according your layout, then you execute the report. Okay, that's it for today, and we'll meet you for the next class. Thank you so much for listening, and if you have any questions and doubts, please let me know in the comments. Thank you so much.